Okay. Here we go. We have a few corrections and modifications to the family tree, the human family tree. So let's just go ahead and add this to the stage here. And we'll try to see what's going on here. So we got, okay, it doesn't fit. I guess it doesn't fit. Anyway, zoom in a little bit. So yeah, what happened was that Grok got carried away with filling in the blanks here. Still trying to explain to Grok. It takes forever him to understand. He doesn't understand this. I just left it this way because it's an IJKL, because it belongs to everybody. Everybody has this L15. The last time I checked, I don't even know if that's true. But anyway, he's got that under Noah, so it's no biggie. Got these samples. I put both samples and known people because it didn't, with the known people that are verified, it didn't fill up very much. So I don't know why, but I guess he's lazy or something. I don't know. So I told him, go ahead and put some ancient samples in. So we got the Oasis, 1, Romania. Vestonis, 16, Czech Republic. We got, it's IJ Basal. There we go. And we got SHEM Basal, M89G and M9C. So remember, this is Basal. Remember, SHEM is Basal. Likewise, ARPHAXAD is Basal. If I can get this thing to move. ARPHAXAD is also Basal because he's the IJ of the IJK. And well, there is another S&P marker for the IJK as well, besides this L15. Besides the L15, there's another marker for the IJK. I think it's a M5 something. But at any rate, it's M9 in Shem's descendants, and it's in Japheth's descendants. Let's see what it is in Japheth's descendants. Japheth's descendants, it's M9G. Is that correct? Oh, yeah, because here it's M9C. All right. So, and it's M89G here in Shem's descendants. And in Ham's descendants, what is it? It's going to be M89. Oh, doesn't say. Why doesn't it say? Anyway, it just says M89. And it just says DE, M89. Well, which is kind of odd, because in Nimrod's descendant, it's not M89. Well, I got to ask him to add some more S&P markers or something. But anyways, by way of correction here, if I can get this thing to work. There's no more ghost descendants or almost said phantasma, which is a ghost. It's ghost in Portuguese. Phantom. There's no more phantom descendants. That's what happens when you're bilingual, I guess. Sometimes, at least with me. So, now we got some better samples here. these are ancient samples here. And it's IJM 429 Basal, Levant. Basal, meaning no S&P markers, no assumed S&P markers, because depending on where you put the root, depending on what's basal and what's not basal. So I have Noah, the IJK root, as basal, so Shem is basal. Japheth is not basal because it's not M9C, it's M9G or something other than M9C. So here we go. Now we're getting started. Here, get this thing out of the way. We got ARPHAXAD. This thing will work. No, it won't work. Oh, come on. Whenever I zoom in, doesn't want to cooperate. There it goes. Okay. So we got M9G ARPHAXAD, or ARPHAXAD, or however you want to pronounce it. This is an interesting figure here. Nobody talks much about ARPHAXAD. But anyways, he's a very important figure because without him, there wouldn't be Peleg and there wouldn't be Abraham. He's the direct son of Shem, firstborn son of Shem, because obviously it's basal, right? I mean, it's obviously he's got the basal markers that others don't have. So if we get going here, they put some samples, some PELEG samples in there. I don't know why. At least they're Ebla samples. Syria JM267. Bronze Age Jordan J1 non-P58. And we got, of course, Abraham M267G. So everybody is a descendant of Abraham, means all Arabs, Jews, and tribes have this marker here with this allele G, M267G. Of course, which is, well, I can't say it's original because this is already an S&P marker defining Abraham, or at least, Israel, or pretty much in this area. So we got some people here. Jonas Salk. Anybody know who Jonas Salk is? He's a J1P58. David Ben-Gurion, J1P58. Golda Meir, J1P58, but it's, hold on a second, let me try this. It's assumed J1P58. Well, I got to go the other way. Okay, Golda Meir is assumed, well, I mean, probably her paternal lineage is J1P58 because she doesn't have a Y chromosome. Of course, to get back over here somehow. So, how's this going to work? Okay, now we're making progress. We got Dan here. Dan is Larry Bird, is Dan, from the tribe of Dan. I1 M253 and Warren Buffett, I1 M253. You put right in there. Oh, Alexander Hamilton too. You can put Jungle Jargon in there too. Asher Leo Tolstoy. It's I2 from Asher. I don't know why it's so hard to get more samples. There's a whole bunch of samples of I2. It's not just one person. I'm still got to work on it, but it's like pulling teeth trying to get rid of Grok's phantom descendants and stuff, that he throws in there and says inferred. No, it's not inferred. There's nothing inferring that Johnny Cash is descended from Indians. Nothing inferred, which is what we hopefully will see here, if this thing can work. But of course, we got Theodor Herzl, Adam Sandler, Jerry Seinfeld. These are J2 M47. Menachem Begin, J2 M67. Louis B. Meir, J2 M172. Not that this means anything, but this is J2 M172. I'm a I1 M170. Of course, it doesn't mean anything. There's no correlation there, but just when they went to assign the S&P markers, this one, they assigned mine 170, and they assigned this one 172. But, okay, we got Adam Sandler, Jerry Seinfeld. They're legitimate Jews. Theodor Herzl, all of them are legitimate Jews. Okay. And we have others. A sample, Bronze Age Jordan sample, J1. We have House of Sod members. Must be a discovery where they actually identify the marker, J1L858. So let me see if I can get over here. Oops. There you go. Joktan is, I don't know why they put that in there, but at least it's an ancient sample anyways, J2. Yemen A2. So this is important because in Yemen, there's such a thing as Yemeni Jews. There's a lot of Yemeni Jews in Yemen. So this J2 Neolithic Yemen could very likely have been, if it's J2, it's probably Judaic, which I didn't know. I thought it was all J1 down there, but it's not. There are Yemeni Jews in Yemen, of course. So Elam, M69, Bronze Age Iran, and it's HM69. Of course, this stagnant Bako Kiro Cave, Bulgaria, FM89. We have another one, P14. Mesolithic Europe, it says F Basal, but F is not Basal. So that they just threw that in there, meaning it was, generally speaking, F, which Grok still doesn't know the difference. It doesn't even know the difference between what's basal, what's not basal. It's not basal. F is not basal. F is down the line, downstream. F is downstream from IJ. So it's IJ. It's IJ, which is Abraham. It's H, which is Elam. It's Asher, which is G. And then it's F, which is downstream from everything else. Okay. So, sorry for this thing taking a while to work. But anyways, there we go. Now we're at the Japheth. This is M89G and M9G. So these are this is Basal. M89G is Basal. This is not Basal. M9G is not Basal. M9G is an S&P that identifies Japheth, who is, one is Noah, B is Japheth. Okay, so we come down here. These are just samples. I don't know why they don't put it under K. This one here is supposed to go under K. This one here is supposed to go under P. So I don't even know why it does that. But we got Tubal, which is K. So it's KM231. This is a Neolithic Iran sample. Indus Valley, Pakistan is LM20. So it's Tiraz is L. Javan is T, of course. So Thomas Jefferson, apparently it's confirmed, is a TM184. So Thomas Jefferson is a descendant of Javan, Mediterranean Sea people. So maybe Thomas Jefferson's ancestors were Phoenicians, or they could have been from Iberia, Tarshish, or, anybody with a T. Thomas Jefferson's. We got Ain Ghazel, Jordan, T, M184. Anything else? Nope. All right. And then so we go to Magog. Magog is M214A, which is a S&P marker. That is the allele change from whatever it was. But we do have apparently a Viking sample that is a descendant of Magog. It's N M214. So that is verified by DNA that a descendant of Magog was also a Viking in Norway. Because, well, that's all the way up north, right? So that's to be expected. It's not out of the ordinary, not out of the possibility. Then we got, here we are. I don't know how many times I told Grok to get Genghis Khan out of here, because C is not a P. Meshach is P, at least for right now is designated as P. Genghis Khan is a C, and he belongs under Nimrod. I don't know. I just like he's deaf, doesn't understand English or what. I don't know what the deal is. But then we got Madai, the Q. We got this straightened out somewhat. The Kennewick man in the USA is QM242. The Clovis, Ansik 1 Clovis boy is QM242. And so we got that cleaned up. No Johnny Cash, no anybody else that's not a Q. Oh, is this thing not working or what? Okay. So we got Gomer now. Madai is Q. Now we got Gomer. We got William the Conqueror is RM207. So he's a descendant of Gomer. I don't know which R is this. I don't know which R it is, M207. But anyways, we got a whole bunch of other people, Ashkenaz, Ripfath, and Togarma descendants. So let's just see who they are. We got Larry Ellison. I don't know, what's he, Jewish or something? but he's an R1A, and which is possible because if he's Jewish, all of his autosomal DNA is going to be pretty much Jewish, even though he's a paternal descendant of Ashkenaz, the son of Gomer. If he's Jewish, he still has autosomal DNA that's Jewish. Got Sergei Brin, R1A, descendant of Ashkenaz. Then we got Ripath. This is Western Europe, Southern Europe, Western Europe. George Washington is R1B. Abraham Lincoln is R1B. Anybody else? Yeah. Oh, wow. Here we go. Yeah. Now we're cooking. Tutankhamun is R1B. Charles Darwin is R1B. Johnny Cash. There's Johnny Cash. He's an R1B. Will Rogers, too. Will Rogers is an R1B. Of course, these are, they might not be, they might be inferred, but at least they're not Q. It might be inferred through their descendants or their ancestors. But look at this. Tutankhamun is an R1B, descendant of Riphath, Southern European. Tutankhamun, the Pharaoh of Egypt, and there's another, I think, in Amenhotep III, I think, is an R1B too. But someday I'll get this all straightened out, But anyways, that's the way the cookie crumbles. It is what it is, and you can't change who you are. Cannot change who you are. So, Togarma, we got Ganja Dara. That's a sample in Iran, or it's a person in Iran. R2. See, notice this is not R1A, it's not R1B, it's an R2. M124. It's a different lineage, descendant of Togarma. Fits perfectly, which is amazing. Amazing. And if we could get it to move. But there's a lot of corrections that we're making here because Grok got carried away with phantom descendants. So this thing here is not cooperating. Might have to shrink it down a little bit. See if we can get it to work. Now we got ham. Now I tried to verify it. Of course, we can't verify it. We don't know anything about this person here. We have no idea who he is, but it says EM2. That's the case. A descendant from Mitzrayim shouldn't even be here. Frederick Douglass, the same thing. This is more or less inferred, but they should be descendants of Mitzrayim, along with Lyndon B. Johnson, Martin Luther King, and Albert Einstein. They're in good company there. Look at that. Good company. Then there's Barack Obama and Frederick Douglass right there. So, there's Amenhotep too. Oh, no, this is the third. Egypt. I don't even know if that's true. I mean, there is a couple pharaohs that are EM2, but then there's some that are R1B as well. So you got to be careful, especially with AI. They see ghosts or something. I don't know what they see. Anyways, so I guess this is a revision here. This is somehow. Okay, let's try to move this over. All right, there we go. Now, this is the source. We got the count here. We got the source and everything. So descendant of Shem, 17 plus 4 ancient. Okay, so Levi, J1P58, Jonas, Salk, David Ben-Gurion, Golda, Meir. Dan, Larry Bird, Warren Buffett, Alexander Hamilton. Asher, Leo Tolstoy, and there's a whole bunch of other people, I too, as well. Which I should have got him to put them in there, but Judah. So the M172 is most likely Judah. Theodor Herzl, David Sarnoff, Luce B. Meir, Albert Sabin, Bernie Sanders, Dustin Hoffman. All Judaic. Absolutely descended from Judah. Pretty much. Unless proven otherwise. There's other people here. Adam Sandler, Jerry Seinfeld, Menachem Begin. These are they're not M172. They're not M172, but they are J2. This one's M47. This is M47. This is M67. So there are still different tribes besides Judah that need to be identified. We need to identify them so we can tell Adam Sandler which tribe he's from, and Jerry Seinfeld. And Menachem Begin, I don't think he's still living, but anyway. So there's other J1, especially J1. This is probably absolutely Arabic, so we can put that down there as Arabic. L858, House of Saud. This is Grok put it under Couture for whatever reason. What happened to the other wife? What happened to Hagar? I don't know. Anyway, but yes, this is probably a good example of what's Arabic, not descended from Israel, descended from either Hagar's son or Keturah's 6 sons. Ishmael and Hagar's 6 sons. Okay, Asher, we got Bill Clinton, Joseph Stalin, Derenberg, Mierensteig, 2, Germany. G2A. These are descendants of Asher. There's G in the Jewish populations as well. Not a large percentage, but there is some G in it. Maybe about 15% or so. But these are these are the sources. FDNA Arabian. Okay. We got FDNA Arabian, J2. This is family tree DNA, if you didn't know. FTDNA. Family tree DNA. Hack. This is the post 2021. Elba samples, or Ebla samples series. It's a J1. Why is it under ARPHAXAD? Oh, this is just sample. Okay. J1M267. Okay. Bronze Age Jordan. Anyways, these are the sources. People's studies, other publications and studies. That's the H. The H of Elam. and stuff like that. Okay, we got Javin, Thomas Jefferson, Meshack. This I told Grok specifically, this Genghis Khan is not under P, it's under C. So, there's a limit. You could spend hours and hours trying to correct everything that the AI throws together. So see if we can find, who was it here? Genghis Khan. See if we can find it under C. Actually, C is not even on here. We got B. We don't even have C. It's not even in here. I don't know what it is. It gets tired. It gets too much information. You got to start the whole thing all over because it gets all confused. It doesn't know what's what. You explain it, you tell it, and doesn't understand what you're saying. It's all confused. Anyways, I have to try again. Start fresh or something. I don't know. We got Sanders, Clinton, Tolstoy. They're descendants of Shem, but they're descendants of Asher, a Syrian. Here's Genghis Khan C. What's it doing on Japheth? Shouldn't be there. Mandela, Einstein, Hirohito is D. Oh, that was another one, Hirohito. Japanese Emperor Hirohito's DZ 1504, and we got DM 174, Bronze Age Lebanon. Oh, this is interesting. Now, Bronze Age Sidon, Lebanon. Now, if you didn't believe that there were Canaanites in the land of Canaan, this is evidence of a Bronze Age Canaan in Sidon, Lebanon. It's a DM174. Because when you look up, when you ask about the D haplogroup, whether it's in Canaan, I've had Grok say, no, there's no D in Canaan. There's no D in the Levant. But here it is right here. If in fact, which it looks like it is, a Bronze Age Sidon, which is Canaan, or actually Tyre and Sidon. Tyre and Sidon is the later Phoenicians. But it is evidence of Canaanite DNA in Lebanon, which is Canaan. DM174. Can't forget that. Haber 2017. Haber 2017. So there's your evidence of Canaan or Canaanites in Canaan. One of these days we'll get this straightened out. So they don't, get Nimrod's descendants in there. There's a whole bunch of them, of course. And we have a San Bushman. That's a descendant of Put, AM31. It's South Africa or Southwest Africa, AM31. Khoisan Bushman. Schlüsselbusch. Schlüsselbusch. No, Schlebusch. Whatever it is. 2012. There it is. Yeah, Bushman. Yeah, Bushman. Schlebusch. All right. That's very significant too. That's a descendant. Of course, they used to be up in North Africa, and they were pushed west and south and everything. But actually, I think there's evidence, DNA sample of somebody in Carthage. I got to double check, but I thought there was somebody in Carthage, army, something or other, who was an A haplogroup descendant put in Carthage, which is North Africa, of course. So there's just a whole lot of work, but this is like pulling teeth trying to get Grok to put it together because it's so lazy. It doesn't know what you're looking for. Doesn't understand. Can't think. All it does is know how to spit out data. Anyways, that's about it, I guess. Corrections, applied stuff. Let's see if there's anybody who wants to know something. Or there we go. We're at Dwayne. Yeah, buddy. Hey, Jungle Brother. Oh, we got Sweetie Girl. Hello. So, yeah, that's about it for today. Wasn't too bad. Didn't have any interruptions or anything, but yeah, I thought it was an interesting study. I have to work a little bit more to get it back in order again, stuff, but it's not doing too bad. It's a lot of work, a lot of study. So everybody take care. God bless everybody.